Hello, my gorgeous Geminis. This is Debs, and this is your reading for January 2024. We got there, Gems. Hope everything is good in your world. Gemini, I had a bit of a slightly disturbing vision. I actually saw a young guy heading off to see an estate agent, looking really, really worried. He had a load of papers under his arm, and when he sat down with this estate agent, he said, "Look, we love the house. The house is fantastic. We want to put in an offer. But the problem is there is a substantial amount of bindweed around the structure of the property, all the way around." And the estate agent shifted in his seat and looked a bit uncomfortable and said, "Yes, okay. So what do you want to do?" And the guy said, "Well, look, we're very happy to take on the property. We're very, very happy to work on the foundation. But we want to know what we can do with this bindweed." So, Jem, I actually had a look at what bindweed was, because for many of you out there, you're sitting there thinking, well, what is she talking about? I looked on my phone, got my phone here, and what it said was, bindweed is an incredibly tough weed to kill because it has a very strong root system that can survive even when its vines are cut or when it's treated with herbicide. Even a small section of root in the soil is more than enough to encourage bindweed to grow back and spread. So, Gemini, there may be an issue here to do with someone choking the foundation of a relationship. It could be that someone here has been invasive in the relationship. I feel as if what we're looking at is you, Gemini, trying to manage a connection, a strong connection, but you're also needing to manage maybe an archaic family dynamic alongside. You can't detach from this family dynamic, and for many of you, you won't want to, but you've got to try and find a way of making sure that your relationship is stable, solid, without the interference of maybe a family group. That's what I'm getting here, Gem. You're going to try and find a way around it. Okay, so guys, let's get into this and see what comes through. The deck that I'm using is the Illuminati Tarot by Eric C. Dunn. Everything you need is down below. I do have some reading slots available if you'd like a private reading. If you want to join the channel, the link to join is in the description box too. And with that said, Gem, let's see what this is all about. Here we go. Archangel Michael, thank you for joining us. This is the reading for my Geminis, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. January 2024. What do we have for my lovely Geminis? Thank you, Michael. I'm now seeing this guy going into what looks like a cellar, and he's poking at the wall, and the mortar, the cement has dried into dust, and he can just see green vines pushing through from the outside. I'm hearing it's really invasive. Okay. Yeah, Jem, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. Arnold's standing behind me and he's saying, "Deborah, just tell them to move." Gemini, I don't know. Are you going to move house? Is it that bad? Are you thinking of moving house? Has your partner been saying, "I just want to get out of here"? So we're no longer living, I'm hearing, near your mother. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. It's what I heard. So we're no longer living near your mother. Okay. Now, bless her. She may be in the winter of her life. She may feel that family stays together. It's really important that she... Okay, I'm hearing it's really important that she pops her head around the door every couple of days. Yeah, Gem, not ideal. Not ideal. I'm now hearing an argument between two people, and the woman is saying to this guy, who does she think she is? She can just come in whenever she feels like it. And my cooking is good. I don't need her to teach me how to cook. Okay. There could be problems in this relationship, Gem, if you don't take control of this. Okay, Gemini. 5 of Swords, yeah. There is a sense of wanting to escape. Okay. Oh, this is really awkward. I can see a woman peering through a kitchen window and muttering to herself, oh, they've probably gone out. I'll come back later. And then a couple who have been hiding around the corner come out. Yeah, okay, we got to say something. We got to say something to her. Okay. This is a challenge, Gem. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles. I'm hearing there are 3 of us in this relationship, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop. So Gemini, you may be with a partner, and there may be a parent here. Could be a mother, could be a father, who I'm hearing wants to remain part of the family, but what they're not realizing is it's a bit too much. It's just a bit too much. Because, you know, you love your parents, you want to see them, but if they turn up unannounced at difficult times of the day, or you planned a lovely weekend away and they suggest that you spend the whole weekend with them, and it's not just one weekend, it's every weekend, it's a little bit too much. You need your space within the marriage, within the relationship to grow. Grow together and not grow apart. But you have someone here who's a bit clingy. She could be a bit lonely. She could be in a situation, she or he, where the partner's passed. So we may have a lone elderly parent here. Yeah, I can see a woman sitting down at the kitchen table with a mug of coffee, and she's looking at her partner, shaking her head, and she's saying, yeah, it's okay once in a while, but for goodness sake, it's all the time. It's all the time. Okay, this woman is now talking about, and she even says to me that she wants to help me clean the house. Oh, okay. Okay. So there could be a situation here where this elderly parent may not feel that a woman is taking care of her son, or a son is not taking care of her daughter as well as they might. Well, I'll help you because you're obviously not doing a good job. You know, I'll clean if you don't have time to do it. I'm seeing somebody wiping a finger on a sideboard and looking at it and saying, yes, I can help you clean. It's a bit dusty. Okay, oh dear, Gemini. There are too many cooks in the kitchen, Gem. In the past, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Destiny. Gemini, I think you moved into a new cycle with your partner. So if you were dating, you moved in together. If you were engaged, you got married. Things moved forward. You were very, very happy. You were very happy. Life was good. Yes, you were sitting in the 10 of Cups. Everything was wonderful. Happy as Larry. I'm hearing then. Then we were really happy. Okay. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. This is really interesting because if you look behind that image, we've got a brick wall. We've got a brick wall, right? And I don't know whether you can see, but just by the brick wall, there's a couple of little vines trying to come up here. Gemini, what you're thinking about is, look, I don't want anything to affect my partnership, my marriage. We were very, very happy. And we've got to do something pertaining to, in the nicest sense, I'm hearing the word distracting, distract an elderly parent to the point where they may not have so much free time on their hands, maybe to come round and Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hearing come round and cause problems. Okay. In the immediate future, Gemini, oh, Three of Swords. Yeah, I mean, Gem, you're heartbroken because it's beginning to affect your relationship. And it's not just two of you in this relationship, it's the three of you, right? It's difficult. What you're fearing is that with the energy of the Hierophant, this is an elderly parent who just wants to be part of the family. This elderly parent may be very traditional, could have a strong religion, could make sure that you say your prayers every morning, you know, a little bit stubborn to deal with, maybe, you know, like things their own way. And of course, Gem, you know, this person grew up in a different generation, so they may not be understanding that, you know, times have moved on and families need to get on with their own lives. They may feel lonely, they may feel a bit on their own, so they may come around a lot more than they should do. Whereas, Gem, you may be living a very busy life. I mean, the two of you may be working, you may have kids, I don't know. In the environment is the moon. Okay. You could be dealing with a Cancerian, Gemini, a Cancerian parent. Or whoever this parent is hiding something. They're hiding something from you. In your hopes, the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, Gemini, you just want everyone to get on and for life to be nice and balanced. In the outcome, the Nine of Wands. Okay, Gemini, you're going to have to say something because this is difficult. It's not going to get easier, it's going to get worse. Clarification for you, Six of Cups. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there may be conversations of when you were a child, we did this for you, we did that for you, or that was the way we did it. Why are you doing it this way? This parent's constantly putting you back to the past. Now, in the nicest sense, Gem, they could still be treating you like a child, and you could be a guy or a woman in your 30s or 40s. Something has to change here. But there is a sense of guilt. There is guilt. Eight of Cups. And I think there may be guilt in the future, Gemini, because what you may be deciding to do is to make a big change. Now, it could be you decide to move further away in the nicest sense. So, you know, if you're living 2 doors down from a parent, you may say to your parent, look, you know, we love seeing you, we love you coming round, but we decided to move. But don't worry, you know, we will try and see you every other weekend. You could work it like that. Or Gemini, obviously you want to take care of your parent. If your parent's elderly, as they get older, you don't want them to feel alone, be on their own. If they are a fair bit older and they may be struggling on their own and they may be sitting in fear that when you're not around or if something happens to them, they could end up in hospital or something like that, you may decide to look at a carer that comes in, you know, twice a week or something like that. Maybe even, Gemini, in the nicest sense, for company. You could introduce this parent to a society. Maybe there's a society of older people who meet 2 or 3 times a week. Give them something to do to occupy their time. There is a huge sense of guilt, though, Gemini, because you're remembering this parent bringing you up. You had a lovely childhood from what I can see. And this is you feeling guilty because what you're trying to do is arrange to sort of detach yourself. I don't think you want to do it completely, Gemini, but you want to make sure that you live your life the way you want to live it without someone else, in the nicest sense, interfering, telling you how to do things. Well, the way I did it when I was your age was this way. Yeah, no, Gemini, you have to be strong in the nicest sense and say, well, that's great, but times have moved on, you know. Let's have a look at what your parent or somebody's parent here is worried about or hiding. Four of Wands. Okay. Gemini, this parent is really worried, and it's interesting. We've got a property and what looks like greenery around it. What this parent is worrying about is that you may ask them to move, or you may put them into a nursing home where they might feel isolated from you. Yes, look at that. 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Gemini, this is somebody who is, first of all, worried about their finances, just so that you know that. They may know that they're sitting in a property that's probably worth a bit of money, and they're getting older and they're worried. What if Gemini and Gemini's partner, or vice versa, arranges for me to go into a nursing home and they sell the house? They're very worried about that. But they do get lonely now and again, Gem. I think that's why this person turns up a bit more regularly than normal. Underneath the deck. Yes, Gemini. Interesting. We've got an Empress. I mean, this could be an elderly mother. Prince of Pentacles. Gemini, this elderly mother may be generous to you and maybe your kids if you've got kids, or you could have been helping your mother out financially. But with the energy of the Ace of Swords, it's got to a point, Gem, where you have to do something about the situation. Because with the 7 of Wands, you're having to be increasingly defensive with this woman and you don't feel it's right. I mean, this could be you occasionally being a bit snappy, saying things you don't really mean, because you may feel she's, I'm sorry guys, I'm hearing poking her nose in. Okay. And this is you knowing that it's affecting not only your relationship with her, but also your partnership that you're hanging on to, you know. So we have, Gemini, here, a bindweed problem that's a little bit invasive, that's causing problems to the foundation of the house, of the relationship, and you've got to do something about it. So Gem, let's get into this. Here we go. So Archangel Michael, what is the 5 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles? Yeah, there are 3 of us in this relationship is what I'm hearing, and you're trying to escape every time this parent wants to come round, wants to spend time with you. It's sort of, yes, but we've only got 5 minutes. But every time you say that or insinuate that you're busy, you feel guilty. So you may make an excuse that you're working. You know, I'm sorry, but, you know, we're both working. We're busy right now. You're putting work and effort into the relationship, Gemini, with your person. And it's as if it's all that you can do to keep work going, keep the house clean, keep your kids happy. If you've got kids, you know, you're living a full life. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, Gem. Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost seeing this as bindweed choking this pentacle, right? Now, Gemini, Ace of Pentacles, as you know, guys, may be you considering moving from one place to another. You may have been thinking, okay, what if it gets worse? Then we may have to consider moving. Because I'm hearing our life's not our own life anymore. So you and your partner may have talked about moving. Yes, wow, the Chariot. Yes. So your elderly parent or your partner's elderly parent may be a Cancerian, or your partner may be a Cancerian, but there's a sense of, we've got to kind of get out of here. In the nicest sense. 5 of Wands. But maybe, you know, your partner doesn't want to move, or your partner wants to move and you don't. There's also a sense of we shouldn't have to completely uproot our life because a parent won't give us a space that we need. You know, there's a sense of that. There's a sense of that. So, Gem, you may have been coasting up until this point of time, trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, Temperance. You may have just been coasting. Sag energy. Let's give it some time. Maybe things will calm down. That sort of thing. In the past, with a Wheel of Destiny, you guys moved forward into a beautiful situation, is what I'm hearing. Seven of Cups. You may have looked at options, options to do with where you were living. You could have been trying to make a decision about starting a family. You're very happy, Gem. Very happy. The Fool, yeah. Super excited, Gemini. Super excited. You could have been married to or living with an Aries, or you got Aries in your chart. Gem, it was just, you were just so happy. I mean, the World, the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Cups, life is good. Life is good. Life is good. The Star. You basically, Gemini, you were living a wish come true. You were living a wish come true. Very happy. Yes. Ooh. All right. And then with the energy of the Alchemist, the Magician, you moved into the Ten of Cups. So you could have bought a house, decided to renovate a house, talked about starting a family, actually got married. Whatever you were planning a long, happy future. But with the Five of Cups, there was disappointment that reared its head. Because even though with the Two of Cups, you were in love with your person, it may have been on your mind that you had to deal with this elderly parent. Maybe a parent that was getting a little bit older, maybe a little bit stuck in their ways, and you didn't really know what to do, but you didn't want that dynamic to ruin what was a beautiful relationship. So, Gem, in your thoughts is the Four of Pentacles. I mean, you want to hang on to this house, or you want to make sure that nothing ruins the partnership, or you're thinking, well, we can't really afford to move with the Four of Pentacles. You don't really know what to do. What else is Gemini thinking about? Yeah, the Death card. Okay, this is going to sound awful, guys. You know what I'm going to say. Gemini, if you're dealing with a much older parent that in the nicest sense you know may not be in this world very long, you may have been saying to your partner, look, there is no way that I'm going to ship off my dad or my elderly mum somewhere that they don't know anyone, miles away from us, because they haven't got long to live. So Gemini, you may be saying to your partner, look, let's just give it a few years. Give it a few years. It may be that they pass and then the issue is sorted. There is a sense that you don't want to cause stress and heartbreak to an elderly parent. I mean, who would? Yeah. So Gemini, what you've been saying to your partner is, or they've been saying to you, Two of Pentacles, look, we will manage. Yeah, there's going to be a few emotional times here, a few ups and downs, but we will manage. Let's just not upset the apple cart. Let's not upset the apple cart. Queen of Cups. So Gemini, you could be married to a Queen of Cups. Or you may be a Queen of Cups as an air sign woman. You may be compassionate and open-hearted and loving, but I have to say with the Two of Pentacles, also incredibly busy. And you may not have time to sit with an elderly parent and have a coffee for a couple of hours every evening. You know, that's what it feels like. It's tough. Judgment. So you two, up until now, have made the decision to sort of hang on in there, to coast, to keep things calm, and just to see how things go, because it may well be that this elderly parent is not going to be around for too much longer. Dare I say that? Now, in the immediate future, Gem, we've got the Three of Swords and the Moon. Now, Gemini, you're feeling heartbroken because you're dealing with your partner and an elderly parent. Your elderly parent or your partner's parent is sat in the energy of the moon. What they're worried about is that you're going to suggest that they leave the house they're living in, which could be near you, and you're going to ship them off to a nursing home where they're going to feel left out in the cold. They're worried about that. They may also be worried about their health. In this card, we've got this elderly person here, this elderly woman bent double. You know, she's got back problems. She's an old lady. She's very worried about the future, her future. So, Archangel Michael, do we have timing, please? When do we have the Three of Swords and the Moon for Gemini? Thank you, Michael. March. Okay. Gem, you may not make a move to take control of the situation until March, or something may happen in March, and you then might make a proper decision about this, because up until now you've just been saying to your partner, or your partner's been saying to you, we just have to leave it for now. I am not upsetting my parent because she's occasionally a little bit interfering, you know? Yeah. So with the energy of the moon, what is going to happen in March with the energy of the moon? Okay. With the energy of the devil, she's going to get worse. She's going to get worse. What's the devil? Four of Swords. She may begin to play the victim a lot more. You know, Gem, in the nicest sense, she may be saying things like, you know, when I'm gone, you will have this house. When I'm gone, you won't have to deal with me. She's going to guilt trip you, which is very difficult as this parent's child to deal with. And you're now a grown adult, right? She's going to start guilt tripping you. I think it's attention seeking. That's all. That's all. Okay. What is she going to say to Gemini? Ooh, Ten of Pentacles. She's going to start saying things like, you know, when I'm gone, you're going to have all my money. When I'm gone, you're not going to have to worry about any financial issues. I'm hearing big, happy family. Gemini, it may be a shock. She may suggest that she moves in with you. And if she moves in with you, then you could sell the house that she's sitting in and it's going to help you financially. But Gem, in the nicest sense, it would make it far worse. Because if this is somebody who lives close by and she comes in 2 or 3 times a week, you know, or she's always just letting herself in unannounced, she may have a key to the house. If she's going to be living with you, it's going to be worse in the nicest sense. There is a little bit of maybe unconscious manipulation. She is determined to stay as close to you as possible. So what she's doing is saying, look, you know, I'm sitting in a house, you're sitting in a house. This is silly. Why don't I move in with you? We could sell the house I'm sitting in that would help you financially, and we would all be a happy family, right? I'm hearing I'd be nearer the grandkids. They'd love it. So Gemini, this is going to be very difficult to navigate. What else is she going to say? Ten of Wands. Okay. She's going to say, Gemini, that she's found things difficult living on her own. She may feel more burdened if, for instance, her husband's passed and she's on her own. She may say to you, you know, it's been a struggle. Yes. It's been a burden because I think with the Emperor, she's missing her husband. Obviously, this could be your father. What's the energy of the Emperor? Yeah, somebody from her past. Yeah, this is her husband who's passed away. So she may have a fair amount of money wrapped up, tied up in a property, but she's been sat in nostalgia, feeling on her own, worried about being turfed out of the house. So what she's saying in advance of you suggesting that she may move out of the house that she's living in, maybe to a nursing home, what she's saying is, look, I could move in with you. And even though Gemini, a lot of people would love that, I think in this particular case, it's actually causing you a problem in your marriage. Which is why with the Three of Swords, you're heartbroken, because you don't want to say to your elderly parent or your partner's elderly parent, we just don't want you to live with us, because it will be a nightmare, because you'd hurt her feelings. She's on her own. She's old, right? But you can't accept her doing that because it would drive a wedge between you and your partner. And the last thing you want is your marriage to go under because of problems with an elderly parent. So this is a tricky situation to manage. So Gemini, you're sitting feeling heartbroken here, guys. King of Swords. So I could be connecting with a masculine Gemini, or if you're a feminine Gem, you're thinking to yourself that your husband's not going to like it, that your mother is suggesting moving in with you. What are you thinking, Gemini? Yeah, Tower moment. Okay. What are you thinking? Yeah. Our marriage is going to go under if that happens. That's what you're thinking, Gem. Princess of Swords is the female equivalent in this deck of the Knight of Swords. You know that your partner is going to basically say, no way. No way. Yeah, Ace of Wands. I'm also hearing the passion's going to go out the window, Gem. Because in the nicest sense, you know, if you have an elderly parent moving in with you, you're not going to have any privacy or very little privacy. If you want to have a lie-in in the morning on a Sunday and get it on with your partner, you're going to be very conscious that the mother is in the spare room across from you. You know, it's just going to be a little bit tricky. What are you saying to the parent? Gem, you're going to lie your head off. You're going to lie. Oh, that will be wonderful. What an amazing idea. 3 of Cups. Oh, we would celebrate. Because, Gem, what else can you say? But you know that your partner's not going to have it, and you don't want this yourself. What are you thinking about? 4 of Cups. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hearing bangos, our sex life. Okay, 4 of Cups. What is the energy between Gemini and this parent? 10 of Swords. You both know that something's going to have to come to a painful end. This parent is worried that you're basically, when it comes down to it, going to say, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. And she's going to feel betrayed. She's going to feel upset. If you allow your parent to move in with you, even though financially things may be better because a house will be sold here, you may think it's going to cause major problems in our marriage. It's bad enough now. If she actually moves in, it's going to get worse. So this is tricky. Let's have a look at the 9 of Wands, Gem. What's the 9 of Wands? 2 of Wands, yeah. So the Nine of Wands, you're tired, you're weary, you don't know what to do. You don't want to turn this parent away and upset her, but you don't want this to destroy your marriage with the Two of Wands. Because for some reason, Gemini, this has been a parent who has very much been coming in and out of the house, calling all the time, wanting to see you. And that's wonderful, but I get the feeling you guys have got a very busy life. You probably got full-time jobs, you probably got kids, you don't have the time. So this is a challenge. What are you thinking about, Gem? Yeah, the world, something has to give. Something has to give. It just can't, it can't happen. It's not going to work out. The Strength card. I mean, if you're a masculine, Gem, what you're thinking about is we're not going to have any personal time, me and my wife, me and my partner. We're going to have to hold back being normal and affectionate and intimate with each other because we've got a parent living in the house. It's just not the done thing. We can't wander around naked anymore because my mom's down the passage. I mean, it's that sort of energy. What are you thinking about? The Hangman. You're trying to see things from a different perspective. You're going to be looking at all angles here, Gemini. You're going to be putting your thinking cap on. What's your partner's point of view? Yeah, okay. Your partner is absolutely refusing to even consider this. No, 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 no. What's going to happen now, Gemini? The Sun. Gemini, you may have a bright idea. I mean, the Sun can be travel. I don't know if you've got a relative who lives in another area, who may be on their own. Could be an aunt or something like that, or an uncle. It may be that you suggest, Gemini, that she spends time with other members of her family. But you're going to have to broach this very carefully so she doesn't feel, Gemini, as if you're pushing her out. You may say something like, oh, great Aunt Edith asked about you the other day, great Aunt Edith in Australia or New Zealand or in a different state or even a different country. You may suggest that she could go on an elongated holiday and visit distant family, almost, Gem, with the hope that either you can come up with a proper plan, what are we going to do, we need some time to think about this, or that she loves it so much, particularly if it's a hot place, she could enjoy the sunshine later on in life as she's older in her years. It could be that you hope, Gemini, that she contacts you from wherever this place is and says, I've decided to stay. You never know. The other thing I'm getting here, Gemini, is that with the Sun, it may well be that the shocker is your partner, if you're of the age and you're masculine, your wife or the mother of your kids may turn around and say, I'm pregnant, the Sun. So there's going to be a child and we don't have the space. Could be. What is the parent's reaction to the Sun? Six of Wands. Okay, she's getting very excited about this. She would be excited about this, I should say. She may feel that she would get, in the nicest sense, more attention from other family members than you and your partner can give her. She's up for it. I think she's up for taking this trip. It could be a long trip. It could be a couple of months, something like that. Yeah. Yes, and with the Prince of Cups, there's going to be peace restored again. And it might be, that she might say, oh, I know I've been a bit difficult. I've just been on my own, since your father passed or something like this. Prince of Cups is a demonstration of love and affection and emotion. So there's going to be no hard feelings, Gemini. at all. This could work. How is this parent feeling about this? 9 of Cups. Okay, she's actually very excited about this. This elderly parent's very excited about this. She may know that she's going to be spoilt, pampered, looked after. She's very excited about this. So Gemini, this might work for all of you, you know? Your elderly parent may feel as if she's got something exciting to look forward to. And it may well be that you and your partner will have time to think about a future plan, a long-term plan, if she decides to come back. She may stay. Yeah, so 6 of Swords. She may be going across the water. And I feel, Gemini, it's going to bring peace to the family unit, you know, until maybe you look at a long-term plan. If she decides not to stay wherever she's going, but she may be going across the water to another state, another country, she could be going somewhere hot. You are hoping that she's going to form a new life, maybe in the sunshine, for her remaining years. So she'd be happy, she'd be looked after. Maybe the person that she's going to stay with is on their own too. They don't have such a busy life. They don't have so many responsibilities. And the person that she's going to stay with will probably give her a lot more attention than you and your partner ever could. So she may be actually happier. So, my gems. We have these occasional readings coming through. I hope it's hit the right person. For the rest of you, I do apologize. It may not be for you. It's quite specific. If I have time, I'll do a bonus, but if I don't have time, please forgive me. It may well be your story next week. So I'm leaving it there. Take care of you, sending love and light your way, and many blessings. Bye, Gem.